whatnot based on old games they have on
Oh yeah,
systems.
I mean,
That's going to cripple them when it comes to that.
absolutely. He and I are we're collectors of games, but we're big fans of the used game shop. I mean, living in America as someone who's lived abroad for a while, and I do have a number of pirated copies of things. It's just kind of, it was the way it worked over in Moscow. I mean, the Wild West years. But I mean, we buy legit. You know, you mentioned working from ROM, but I've been to your house and I've known your collection. It's not ROM.
Yeah, I mean, like most of my ROMs are games that either never got released in this country or they're translations of games from languages I don't speak.
Right.
And so, you know, for instance, Final Fantasy V never got well. It's been released in this country now on the Game Boy Advance, but
yeah, that's right.
It was never translated.
Which I think you have.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I actually prefer the Game Boy Advance release, obviously, because it's a proper translation.
Right.
Though the version I've got of it is extremely good.
Is it really?
On ROM.
That's pretty cool.
And so I'd played it several years before I played it on the Game Boy. But
so the fans did a good job of converting?
Oh yeah, I'd say it's 99% of the proper translation.
That's
In fact,
pretty.
It's probably better translated from the standpoint of the intent of the original.
Culturally speaking?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But it is a little bit less glitchy when it's an official release.
Yeah.
And so,
That's pretty cool.
and it's one of those things where there's some games like Terranigma. I would never have played Terranigma if I had not played the ROM because
English language.
I can't. It's like my electricity is the wrong type. It's 50 cycles instead of 60.
Right, 60.
My system can't hold it because of the little tabs in the bottom of the Super Nintendo.
Yep, gotta break the top.
And so I'd love to have a copy of Terranigma just for the sake of owning a copy of it, but I'm not going to import a game I can't play.
I wouldn't either.
And I'm not willing to modify my Super Nintendo because it's old enough. I'm scared I'll break something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I wouldn't do that.
I just keep playing the ROMs and not put the wear and tear on my system, except for games that have to be played on the original controller, because there's some games that just don't feel right without the original controller.
I agree. Do you think that, as a non-Wii owner, do you think that Terranigma on the Wii will be the one that puts you over the edge?
They're releasing it on the Wii?
Yeah. Oh, they're going to eventually. Because, like, for instance, Japanese-only stuff, we haven't gotten any Euro-only stuff yet, although that came out in both, I guess. But, like, we have Sin and Punishment. I have Sin and Punishment on my...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have that on my Wii.
Well,
high res.
I'm honestly already sold on the Wii. I just can't afford one right now.
Yeah, and there's really no rush yet, I don't think. I mean, there's really not.
I'll honestly probably wait till they release the Slimline Super Edition DVD playing Wii that they've been talking about for a while.
And frankly, you know...
And the price drop, which will eventually happen.
Right. I mean, I told you, I always go for $200 because I got my Dreamcast at $200. Totally worth it. Anything over $200, I have a hard time with. $250 came with the game. Plus, I support new technology. As you know, I'm a big fan of novel interface and really going in what I believe is a positive direction for gaming as a whole. Admittedly, it's got a lot of wrinkles to iron out. But
at the same time, you get in at the beginning, and so you have more time to experience the system, and
as it develops,
you know more about what's good and bad on it.
Yeah, true.
Which, I mean, for me, the Wii, I already knew it was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I already had a 360 when they released it.
Yeah,
so,
which is hardcore gaming.
Yeah, and I still haven't caught up on games that I need to buy for that system. And not so much from the standpoint of need and I must own these to have a complete collection as much as these are some of the best games ever made.
Period.
And I need to play them to call myself a gamer.
I have to admit.
In fact, there's about 6 of them out right now that are must-own games.
Totally.
And it's really kind of annoying to me that Microsoft didn't space them out a bit more.
Yeah. Well, it's holiday season, you know.
I realize that, but not everybody. I mean, I don't know of anybody that's going to get all 6 games.
No, they can't afford it.
Yeah.
No. At $60 a pop? Oh.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I mean, I'm all for spending $60 on a new game.
Yeah, I can do it occasionally.
Maybe once a month, if that.
If that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd much rather buy 3 or 4 used games for 15.
And the fact is, you know, I know you do to an extent. You buy stuff out of curiosity, and you can't afford to feed your curiosity for $60 a pop, or even 20 sometimes. You know?
Yeah, 20 is about my limit because for me, 20, it's like, I won't miss 20 that much.
Yeah.
30 if I know it's from a good publisher.
Yeah.
Like a new.
And you're supporting a publisher.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, obviously Square is not hurting for support.
No.
But you know,
but you're a big Atlas supporter.
Atlas, I love. Natsumi, if they ever release anything in this country, I'll buy.
They're doing it on the DS, but they're puzzle games and stuff.
Yeah, I wish they get back into RPGs because they made some really good ones.
The Harvest Moon, you'd be amazed how alive and kicking that thing is. I have the first one on the DS that I showed you, and I think they're I
was never a fan. Like,
it's too slow for me. I can't.
To me, that was also part of the whole cute 'em up genre.
Right.
That was basically the cute 'em up of
RPG.
Of
I like that. That's true. You're right.
And while it has a place,
that's true.
I don't think that that series has evolved enough for me to buy the sequels.
Yeah, you're probably
the same thing with Pokemon. Like, when they change something, I'll buy the next one.
Yeah.
But until they do that, I'm not going to buy a Pokemon game.
I think they know it's awesome.
Because I've got the original one and nothing's changed.
Yeah. I played the Pikachu Yellow version, the original GB cart.
It's a great game.
It's very advanced.
But I
didn't
need 100 more Pokemon to make it a complete gaming experience.
Exactly.
And that's really all they've done is just add new characters. They haven't changed the plot. It's the same plot, same interface, same everything.
Yeah, which is not bad. They know what the Reggie Fils-Aimé, I think his name is pronounced. The guy at Nintendo actually referred to openly the Pokemon series as
collect them up.
Well, it's clearly that, but which is another wonderful. We have a lot of this terminology and jargon going on, but it's all legit. We're not making these up. These are real, which is funny enough on its own. But an evergreen. It's Nintendo's evergreen product. And that's the idea that you can always dip into Pokemon and make money.
And see,
because it's a genius design.
I would challenge that, though. I would say Zelda is that.
It is, but if you look at the sales, because of like Wind Waker,
the kids are gonna buy Pokemon left and right because.
And even the older people are like,
timeless.
It's because it's a genius design. Yeah. It is really genius design.
But at the same time, I think it will have a finite lifespan, unless they adapt and evolve that system.
Yeah.
Because you can only collect baseball cards for so long until you start selling off the collection to finance other hobbies.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean?
That's totally true for me.
It's one of those things
totally
where
true
it's like,
for me.
You appreciate it. It's awesome. It's like, oh, this is even better than the last one. But eventually, it's not going to be worth the expense when, say, somebody else makes a similar style of game that's much more evolved, much more with the times, much more in depth.
I mean, I agree
with modern gaming style.
The catch about that though is they've tried it, like the Monster Rancher series. There were the Creatures series on the PC.
But like the Dragon Quest Monsters Joker game that just came out has gotten really good reviews.
Wait, what is that on?
DS.
It is on DS.
Just came out. That one's. I mean, it hasn't gotten like 10s. It's got like 8 out of 10s.
That's good for a series that's like 16 iterations in or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, I haven't read up on that yet.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, like. As much as if I were able to get hate mail for saying this, I wish they'd let Final Fantasy sit for a bit and make other games, or Dragon Quest and sit for a bit, make other games, because you don't need Final Fantasy 14.
I tend to agree.
It's time to say make Chrono Trigger 2,
which they've tried, and they did on the PS1.
But they didn't really with the Final Fantasy system. They redo a couple things, but the basic mechanic ideas are still there.
That's absolutely
with the Chronos with the Chrono series. Every game is totally different. It just happens to go, oh, well, this is sort of like Chrono, so we'll put that on it.
It's a ballsier series, yeah.
The Secret of Mana series I think is a good one as an example of when they put a new mechanic in, it still feels like you're playing the original one.
I've heard, but see, you actually tap on what, and again, I'm not hardcore RPG, but you are, and I do know many RPGs. Because are still an RPG, you guys can get along well. And I do know that I've heard the most flack from most RPG fans about the Mana series because it's actually shape-shifted so many times.
Yes.
Which I think is good.
But see, that's part of what I like about it, because though it's different every time, I know that it's of a quality that I will eventually grow to appreciate what they've done with each time.
I like that. I'm like that with music in a lot of ways.
And, I realize publishers and developers aren't willing to take a gamble on new intellectual property all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you know you have something that works and you already have the property rights for it, like Chrono Trigger.
With a name brand like that,
I'm trying to think of another one that's